Hello there, URM Academy. It is Warren Huart. Hope you're doing marvelously well. I'm here today to talk to you about ways to increase your client base, ways to grow your career. The main way I did it, quite frankly, is probably all of the ways that are considered to be very unpopular. I work for free. And I still, frankly, do stuff on spec if it's important to me, if I feel like I want to grow a relationship. That doesn't mean mixing a whole album for free, but I will mix a song on spec. I did an album fairly recently, which did well, God bless it, that I went up against a whole bunch of other mixers. And all of us probably mixed a song for a day or two to get this album. So that is still part of what I do. I would never mix a whole album for free, but I definitely would mix a song to show what you can do. Now, as far as building my production career, I did a lot of other unpopular things. I went to shows. I would go to shows, and at the end of a show, I'd go up, if I loved the band, and go and talk to them and say, I would love to record a song with them for free. I recorded a song for free. I probably have done that 30 or 40 times. And I built a resume that way. And that one song, sometimes they didn't like it, or sometimes they loved it, but they just wanted a single done. And I had a song to add to my resume. I had a new band to work with, a new style of music to work on. I did some really, really good stuff there. But one of the things that I loved about it is it taught me a heck of a lot, because working with massively successful and incredibly talented session players is great. We all want that. However, you don't learn that much. When I get in a room with a drummer that I just have to generally throw up 4 or 5 microphones and he or she plays amazingly balanced, I don't learn as much as when I'm working with a band that I have to edit fills and groove and feel to make the drummer perform really well. That's where I elevated my talents. I did that from working on that kind of stuff. So, number 1, put yourself out there, go to shows, interact with people. If you're living in a small town in the middle of nowhere, get online, find a band you love, email them, say that you would mix their song for free. And if they liked it, they could do more stuff with you. You need to build a community of people, your own community around you, and it's not that difficult. Next, have a web presence. I know so many people look at the internet and say, oh, you know, it's so vacuous and I hate having, I know. You know what? It would be so much better if you could just walk out the door and go and shake hands with real people and not have to work in this kind of weird online. But you know what? It is amazing. Get out there, get yourself out there, get your work out there. Have your own web page, at least have your own Facebook page. And the one thing I do not suggest you do is don't make your page official. Don't have John Smith official. You know what? Whether you like it or not, Taylor Swift does her own social media. And she doesn't have a Taylor Swift official Instagram. She just says Taylor Swift. She's not sounding like she's above. You know, having a Warren Huart official page is really kind of foolish. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because you want to promote accessibility. You want to have people believe that they can contact you directly. And if you're always putting in a level of, you know, superiority in there, you're going to make it difficult for people to get in contact with you. So just be open to all kinds of genres and all kinds of people, because you never know where your work is going to come from. Sometimes your work comes from an artist in India, other times Australia. Sometimes it's from next door because they didn't even realize you did music and they see you. The point is like, get yourself out there. I know the internet can be an interesting place at times, but the reality is it is an amazing way to get yourself out there. And remember this, you don't need high numbers, you need good engagement. You can have your Facebook page have 100,000 likes, it could have 1,000, it could have 200, it could have 100. The point is, if those people are actually interacting with you, listening to your music, you're listening to their music, that is far more valuable than just indiscriminately putting up posts and getting likes and comments. You need to engage, you need to interact, you need to build community. If you're in this community, for instance, you'll see how that works. It's the same with my community. It's the same with everything that we do. All of us mutually do here. It is about having a community, interacting with other members of that community. So promote yourself and engage with other people. I really do believe shows is still the way to go. If you are in your local town and there are bands playing, go up there, become involved. Because the reality is that none of us are really competing with each other. Yeah, I competed to get that quote unquote big album with another 5 guys, but the reality is 90% of everybody's work these days comes from independent artists. You can go and call up Ryan Huart or Joey Sturgis sitting over there. And I bet you they're not doing label projects every single day. There's plenty of people with a budget through Kickstarter, through independent funding, whatever it might be, who want you to work on their records. So chasing the big artists all the time is quite exhausting. It takes a lot of work, and that's where sometimes managers come in or whatever it might be. The reality is there's plenty of work out there. There's plenty of work. You just need to have great talents that you build from working with artists. So it's not going to come until you work with a bunch of artists. And you need to be, once more, accessible. Make sure that somebody can find you, which means Instagram, means Twitter, and it means Facebook. Predominantly those 3. If you want to do Snapchat, you want to do the others, please do. And also have your own webpage. Because if you do have your webpage, you can also control it there. You can have your best work be up there in a way that can be easily found. You can illustrate different artists. You can have a little bit of design go into it. These days, there's so many basic web building softwares that you can use. You can have a web page up within a couple of hours that does a really good job. And of course, remember to have email capture on there, because if somebody comes to your website, make sure they have a way of getting in contact with you. I've seen so many places where I've had literally, just last night, who was it? I was trying to find a manufacturer that I was talking to, and I went to their webpage, and it took me about 10 minutes to find their contact. It wasn't actually in the heading or the back. I had to go through other pages, and they had put it like on a back page, About Us. I had to go to an About Us and then find at the bottom of only on the About Us a contact. I mean, so many of us would have given up. Imagine being on your cell phone, spending 10 minutes trying to get hold of somebody to say, hey, I'd like to buy something or I'd like to talk to you. Make it easy. Put it on your front page. You'll notice, however annoying it is with my pages and everybody else's pages, that the contact pops up immediately. When you really want to get in contact with somebody, it's nice to make it easy and accessible to get in contact with you, to hear the music you've worked on, and get yourself out there, which means searching bands online. You know, I do it all the time. I write to bands. They don't always respond, but you know what? I still do it. I still write to artists and bands and tell them I enjoy their music and would love to work with them. And if you're in a town that has some venues, get out there, go to the venues, see the bands. If you like them, go up and introduce yourself to them, give them your email address, give them your number, offer to do a song for free, whether it be mix or produce. You need to build your resume. You can't work in isolation. You can't just go around telling everybody, I'm a genius and I'm amazing. Even if you are a genius and you are amazing, people need to hear your genius and hear how amazing you are. One thing that's important, I was just talking to Joey, so I want to make sure this is added. It's not about doing stuff on spec that people are pitching you, unless it's absolutely amazing. If somebody pitches you something, great. It's about you having the power. So the spec stuff I do is me choosing, is me going out and reaching out to artists online or at shows, and me going, I love what you're doing, I want to work with you, I'm willing to do one song on spec. Because I understand, I don't want this message to get lost. You can do free work all day, every single second of the day, for the thousands of people that can inundate you with requests. It's not about that. You take the power. Work on stuff you love, or work on stuff you think will really help you improve. If it's hip hop and you're rock, do it. If it's rock and you're hip hop, do it. The point is like, there needs to be a reason. You need to think to yourself, what am I gaining from this? Am I gaining experience? Am I aligning myself with an amazing artist? What are the reasons why you're doing it? It's not about working for free and spending 100 hours a week working for no money. You need to have a reason why you're doing it. For me, it's about building relationships and building my talents and getting associated with great stuff.